So I'm going to give a quick tour of my Ikea greenhouse cabinet, and it is just taken off. Plants grow extremely well in here for the most part. There are few exceptions. So there you go. Quick tour. African violets doing very well, blooms all the time. My string of hearts, which was not loving life before, I now have two of them. They're taking off. I mounted Oncidium orchid. It is growing. You can't see the growth from here, but it has got a new growth point coming up, a new pseudobulb. I've got a little experiment propagation right there, taking off with the leaf from that African violet over there. I tried propagating it, and as you can see, it worked beautifully because you see I've got African violet babies coming up from the soil. Took a while, but there they are. This plant, which I still don't know quite what it is, it's some type of maybe bromeliad, I'm guessing. Doing very well. It's getting pink all of a sudden. This plant was down to two little skinny leaves for the longest while before I put it in the cabinet, and it just took off in the last, I would say, 2 months. It's made about 6 leaves or more, and it's growing like crazy and really getting prettier and prettier every day. I'm thinking it might be some sort of earth star. Anyway, they're a type of bromeliad, I believe. So, and over here, you see my lovely Drosera or Drosera Adelaide sundew plant. Lovely plant, always doing its thing. It's multiplying like crazy. I'll have to repot it soon because it's got babies in there as well. I started with one. I think there's probably 3 in there or 4 plants. Right here underneath, I have my beautiful, I love this plant. And I always forget the name, but it's an air plant, Tillandsia. I forgot which one. I think it's Ionanthe, but I could be wrong. Beneath that, I have my 2 of my beautiful alocasias. I've got the darker one is Alocasia amazonica, or some people call them Polly, I think. Next to that is my absolutely stunning Frydek. I cannot say the proper name. I think it's Mitsokiliana. I can't say it. But there it is. Beautiful as ever, always making a new leaf. I'm going to open the door for this because this leaf, I mean, both of them are gorgeous, but this leaf is, I mean, look at that. You see that? Look at that. Velvet, totally velvet. The back is just beautifully veined as well. As you can see, it's got a nice set of leaves. I bought this as a seedling, so it has grown leaps and bounds. Let's see if I can show you guys one of the leaves that was, oh, I can't get to it, but there we go. This is one of the little leaves that it first grew. And if you compare, you can see the difference, right? From this little leaf right here to this big beauty right there. So, very pleased. Let's see if I can get it back in with one hand. Very happy with this plant. And it absolutely loves the greenhouse cabinet. Oh, how to show you this plant back there. I gotta take this guy out again. So this is my beautiful nerve plant for Phytonia. Okay, I just repotted it recently into a much bigger pot because it had outgrown its previous pot. And so far so good. It seems to haven't really skipped a beat. It's getting a lot of shade these days, but luckily these are understory plants in the wild in its native habitat, so it's doing okay. The as you can see, the alocasias are basically shading it out. And yeah, the Alocasia Polly, this is the newest leaf. Believe it or not, this leaf will expand and expand and expand into this, I don't know if you could see it, but into this massive thing here. Yeah. I will eventually have to move this plant out because it is outgrowing this cabinet by leaps and bounds. I'm sure this one eventually will have to go as well into a bigger space. I'm not sure where. Maybe I'll have to get another greenhouse cabinet, because the thing about alocasias I've found is that they could grow outside of a greenhouse cabinet or a greenhouse, obviously. But if you want them to be looking their absolute amazing best selves with that gorgeous sheen to their leaves, as you can see, you know, look at that. Right? And that stunning white veining, to me, looks like a giant insect in the middle of the leaf. Then it's best to give them greenhouse type conditions if possible. I've noticed a lot of people, they experience like droopy leaves with the fry deck, but mine doesn't do that in here under very bright lights, about a foot away or so. Sometimes lower, and I take this off. What else? Lower down, I've got my slightly going crazy here Hoya Mathilde, which I absolutely love. Guys, I'm really into Hoyas now. The Hoyas. It's a weird name, right? I can't say it. Hoyas. There's so many Hoyas. Like, it's endless, right? The variety of Hoyas is insane. Look at those cute little round leaves. And when they're new, they kind of furry. Like that new one up the top here. It's very soft and furry until it hardens. And I hope you can see, but there is, let me put my hand behind it, right there. It has a peduncle, which is where the flowers are supposed to come. So yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on it. I'm hoping this peduncle actually develops. There is another peduncle hiding somewhere. Oh, here, right in, can you see that? Tricky. There we go. In there it is. So yeah, this Hoya is loving life. I've repotted it into my own little aroid mix that I've created. It's mainly bark, perlite, some charcoal, sometimes peat or cocoa fiber, and they love it. Next to that is my beautiful Cattleya. I always forget the name because it's long. Cattleya Chenyi. I can't say it. Chenyi Champion Red Apple. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous flower. And as you can see, it seems to like me because it made this whole new leaf for me. And it's got the little, I forgot what you call that, little thing that the flower bud develops inside. I used to know the name of that, and right now my mind is blank on it. To the side is my other air plants. I'm really into air plants, but I'm very picky which ones I choose. I am loving this one here. Guys, I swear I'm going to learn all the names eventually. It's hard to remember. Some of them look similar too. Like these two almost look the same, but they're not. Yeah. So I love the silvery ones like this. Look at the structure of that thing. So pretty. And if you look closely, you can see roots. Yep, air plants will grow roots if they're happy. And this one's obviously happy, so it's attaching itself. Let me see if I can zoom further. It is attaching itself to this piece of wood. There you go. Beautiful. If you zoom in on those gorgeous, gorgeous leaves, you see the structure of that. Incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this one here, if I'm gonna have like an absolute fascination with one of my favorite air plants, will be this one here. I think this one is called the Medusae. Caput Medusae, I think. I love this plant because it's just, I can't even describe it. I mean, okay, let's zoom. Look at the texture of these leaves. Like how? They're literally like, I don't know, like velvet. And they do feel velvety, guys. And as the other one up top, look at that. Roots! I love it! Roots, roots, roots! Yeah, this is what started the whole cork mounting thing, because I noticed one day when I just had it hanging just like I have this one hanging right there on wire, I noticed that it had a root and I was like, oh, you're happy. You're happy. So I put it on wood, and then I noticed this one did the same thing. So I also mounted it on wood after doing a little research on how to. So as you can see, it's mounted upside down so that water never pools inside. Because when I water it, I don't take it off the bark, of course, right? I submerge it into my goldfish aquarium, and that's how I water my air plants, the goldfish aquarium. Natural fertilizer. And it is loving life. Look at the pink. If you can see that, I hope you can see it. But look at the pinks, the silver, greens. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous plants. And it has tripled in size since I got it last year. Down here are my more rare plants, of course. We have my beautiful, slightly beaten up because of me messing up on occasion, but anyway. Anthurium clarinervium. I did this. I dropped my phone on it one time. Oh my goodness, trying to take a picture. But anyway, it's recovered, as you can see, despite the mangled foliage. Because look at that. New leaf coming. It actually has two. I hope you can see the one back there. There's another one growing back there. It also grew this one for me. Isn't that gorgeous? So this plant is going to get huge and look amazing, even more than it already does over time. And over here, look at that, guys. Look at that thing. I love, love, love this plant. Look at that. This is, of course, the rare but gorgeous but precious but everything, like, look at it. Philodendron Melanocryson. Another dream plant, wish list plant that I managed to get from a wonderful private seller in Toronto. I am blessed. This plant just makes me happy. I have a thing for heart-shaped velvety leaves, as you can see. These leaves one day will hopefully get enormous. We're talking like a foot long. I can't wait. And I've repotted it since I got it as a cutting, of course, and put it in my trusty aroid mix and clear pot so I can keep an eye on the roots. It has really good roots, really good roots. And back here, I have my beautiful black velvet alocasia, my third alocasia, right? And amazingly, it's flowering. It is flowering. I'm giddy. I guess that means it's happy. There you go. Can't wait to see what happens with that. Never seen one flower before. But this plant has taken off, as you can see. When I bought it, it had 2 leaves. It's made 2 leaves for me since February of this year. Yep, 2 leaves in February. It grows like a weed. This is my challenge right here. Sadly. What is, I don't remember what it's called because I try to ignore it nowadays. Literally, I try and ignore it. But it is a Anthurium vitarifolium that I got from a store in the GTA. And it was sick. Yep, I bought it against my better judgment. And sure enough, I brought it home and it rotted. And all the leaves yellowed over a couple of days or so. They just turned yellow and fell and rotted. It was horrible. So it is down to a wet stick, as it's called. Literally last chance kind of thing. So if this survives, I will be tickled pink, to say the least. I am loath to move it, but occasionally I check on it to see what it's doing, see if it's gonna rot. But as you can see, it's got a little growth right there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, it's got a little nub growing on the side. It's getting longer every day, so I'm like, there's hope. There's hope. It's just sitting in perlite with water at the bottom of the cup, so the perlite can wick it up to the top. So that's it. And that's it, guys. My lovely, love this cabinet. Wish it was bigger, but hey, it's wonderful, right? Well, thanks for watching, guys. Get growing. Get plants in your living space. They'll make you happy. Casey, out. Bye-bye.